Hello, humans. If you haven't noticed, and you probably do have, maybe you haven't, we'll find out. I am a neurodivergent individual. I have ADHD. And I just have to say that I hate it. No, not having ADHD. No, I'm actually perfectly fine with that. I think it actually gives me certain advantages over neurotypical people. Yes, advantages. Deal with it. No, I just don't like the name. It is a very poorly named issue for people, or set of issues, or I don't even. The point is, it conveys a bit of stigma. If you say you have ADHD, people automatically make assumptions about you, like you can't sit still, or squirrel, that kind of thing, which is not necessarily true. And they also have named it in such a way that it doesn't describe the issues that the individual has, or at least I don't feel it does. Maybe, and there's probably some other people out there who don't believe it does. It actually describes the issues that neurotypical people have with people with ADHD. First off, attention deficit. No, I don't. Most people with attention deficit can pay attention to things just fine. It's just what draws our focus is different than neurotypical people. Neurotypical people, you seem to have, and again, I say you seem because the way you think is just as mysterious to me as the way I think is mysterious to you. But from what I've read, you all have a more risk-reward way of being able to focus. So, like the teacher says, "Hey, you need to focus on this so you can get this grade. And if you get this grade, yay! If you don't get this grade, boo." Same with jobs. Hey, here's this job. You need to do this, and if you do well at it, you get this, and if you don't, this happens to you. For people with ADHD, we pay attention just fine, except our neurology is more based on interest than risk-reward. If something's boring, who cares? I can't. No one with ADHD can focus very long on something that is boring. Our brains won't let us. But if you give us something interesting, get out of the way. We will smack you upside the face if you try to get in our way of paying attention to that thing. We will learn everything about it. We will focus for hours on something to the exclusion of, eating, drinking, using the restroom. Seriously, it's called hyperfocus. And once we come out of the hyperfocus state, it's like, oh, wow. 9 hours have gone by and I'm very hungry and I have to pee. That is something that does happen to us. So it's not an attention deficit. It's an attention difference. It's something that I think people could actually, like employers and teachers, could use to their advantage. Find out what interests us and see if you could figure out a way to put it into your, into your business model. And we are the best employee, period, when we find something that is interesting to us, that is also beneficial to a business. We are gregarious. We are able to multitask better than most neurotypical people. We are actually great communicators, and we are great at inspiring other people. At least that's what all the literature says. I don't know about it myself personally, but so yeah, there are many advantages, and having an attention deficit actually isn't part of what really makes things hard for us. And then hyperactivity. Well, ADHD, hyperactivity. is the next part of that. And that is annoying. That is squirrel. That is getting up, walking around. That is all these annoying classroom behaviors. I don't have that. I am my ADHD is classed as primarily inattentive subtype, and I have high impulsivity but low hyperactivity, which made it very hard for people to diagnose. Actually, I didn't get a real diagnosis until about 2 years ago. Actually, I've been trying to convince people that I have ADHD for years, and I needed help with certain things. I'll talk about that here in a second. But because I didn't have the hyperactive, signs of hyperactivity, I was often dismissed until finally I convinced somebody to say, look, I have all these symptoms. Give me a shot at, trying something. So they gave me a low dose of Adderall, kind of like, okay, chickie, take this, come back, we'll see what happens. And I called the next day and said, oh my God, my house is so clean. I got out of bed immediately and I've been up for 3 hours and I have done da 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 da. And they're like, oh my God, you're reacting like somebody who has ADHD. It's like, yeah. I have been diagnosed with general anxiety disorder, and people who know me are like, no. I am considered a fairly laid back individual. I was diagnosed with bipolar type 2. I was diagnosed with all these various things, and they were all wrong. It was just ADHD. So if I don't like that name, what would I like the name to encompass? Well, the problems I have issues with are yes, lack of focus on things that are boring. Adderall has helped me with that. Executive dysfunction, time blindness, the ability to plan. No, I take that back. We are actually really good organizers and planners. It's just sticking to those plans. That's what we often have problems with. We make great plans for others, and they carry them out while we're going, hi, how you doing? Let's go. But those are the main, like the executive dysfunction things. Arriving on time, getting out of bed. A lot of times, and cleaning your house. A lot of times, the issue is one part of your brain saying, get up, let's go, we got to go do stuff. And another part of your brain's like, eh. And the executive part of your brain can't get the rest of your brain to follow suit. That's executive dysfunction. And that's what I need the most help with. I could pay attention to things for hours, like I said. But if I'm just laying in bed, not able to get myself going, it doesn't matter. Adderall has helped with that. I take it first thing in the morning. My brain gets the chemicals that it needs properly, and I go. So yeah, there's a certain, ADHD has a certain stigma. Like, it's a learning disability. It is not a learning disability. Like I said, I just got diagnosed 2 years ago, and before that, I earned 2 master's degree and I was ABD on a doctorate. Don't tell me that I have a learning disability. I'm a member of Mensa. There's all, like I said, the idea that you're going to be flaky, the idea that you're going to get, you are easily distracted. Trust me, that is absolutely true. But that is going to be super harmful to people around you. These are the things that are not true, or not necessarily true. Maybe with some people, but not with me. And when you tell somebody you have ADHD, they start treating you differently. So yeah, I would like to try to get rid of that stigma, and I would like the name of the disorder to actually reflect what's wrong with me, what I feel is wrong with me, not what other people might think of me, because my brain is wired differently than yours. So yeah, that's my rant about ADHD and the way it's perceived, and it's just a random bit of thought for the universe. Thanks for watching. Check out my other shows. Like, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. Peace, long life.